Hey, Who fans, and welcome to the Big Blue Box Podcast. My name's Gary.
My name's Matt.
My name's Maria.
My name's Harry.
And welcome to the April Roundtable.
Woo, yay!
Welcome back, everybody, to another Roundtable. We're sorry we missed you last month. We had a couple of things going on, some busy stuff. And when I say that, I mean I had some busy stuff going on. This lot were eager, as usual, to get behind the mics and start chatting Doctor Who. But alas, I was the roadblock in last month's Roundtable, so apologies for that. But we are back for April to talk about a few news bits that have landed over the last month or two. We have a couple of missing eps that were announced to much fanfare amongst fandom. We'll get to those in a moment. We've also got something else that was that generated a lot of fanfare, albeit a little bit shorter. That was the Paul McGann TV movie announcement for the 4K remaster and all that stuff. Woo! And then very recently we had, I'm not sure if this one did land with much fanfare or not. Bit of a funny one, this one. The BBC and the official Doctor Who guys were very, very keen to let the world know that it's been 20 years since David Tennant V1 started his run as the Doctor back in. We'll go on to this in a minute. It's either one episode or the other. We'll let you pick. We'll let you do the math and the numbers and all that stuff. But yeah, that was a thing, apparently. We're now doing celebratory anniversary stuff for sort of in-betweeny series and in-betweeny bits. So that's cool. We'll get onto that in a moment. So yes, dear listener, thank you very much for taking time out of your morning, day, evening to listen to us waffle about Doctor Who. And I'm joined this month by the usual rabble, minus a couple of people. Jordan's not with us. Jordan's busy doing his uni work as usual at the moment, and Adam is shopping for, I don't know, special weapons Dalek without the third ball from the left and without the gold bit at the bottom that he saw in a eBay auction 5 years ago that's still tracking it down. Something like that, I guess, over in the US. So no Adam. But I am joined by Matt. Matt is back in the house, back in the hot seat. How are you doing, dude?
Hi, Gary. Yes, doing really well, thanks. I've been recovering from a bit of an illness of late, but on the mend now. So feeling better, and I haven't managed to do that much Who-related stuff, but I did manage to. And don't be too harsh on me for this, but I remember when I was a listener to the podcast and you guys were reviewing Inferno, and I think I must have just been tired, but I couldn't get through it. It didn't land with me at the time. And I thought now's the perfect time. I've got a lot of free time at the minute. Why don't I go back, because it's a 7-parter, go back and have a... Everyone says it's really good, so I thought I'd give it another go. And it was brilliant. Really, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through, and really ahead of its time. Just brilliant. And the Brigadier, especially, or Brigade leader was just brilliant. So I did that, and I've been listening to a bit of Big Finish, the new 11th Doctor Chronicles. So that's been really interesting as well.
Nice. Matt has been doing some Doctor. He's so funny, Matt. I love it when Matt does his intro. He's like, "Yeah, I've not done anything Who related really," and then reels off like 2 or 3 really cool like Doctor Who things that he's done since we last recorded. So nice one, dude. And for the benefit of the listener, Matt is looking awesome at the minute. He's been under the weather with some bits, but yeah, you wouldn't know it. Still looking, just just wicked. So welcome back, dude. Maria, how are you doing? You've been to some events, surely, since we last spoke.
Yeah, I was actually at an event at the weekend. I went to the Riverside Studios, one of my favourite places that I've discovered, for an event by the DWAS, the Doctor Who Appreciation Society. So they run these events regularly, probably about 5 or 6 times a year. And they normally have a theme. So this one was called Space and Nine. So it's called Projections in Time, Space and Nine. And they were basically celebrating season 9 of classic Doctor Who. So John Pertwee season, and there was guests there from that series. So what they did was they showed four different episodes. So there was the Mutants, Curse of Peladon, the Time Monster, and there was one more. And I can't remember what it is right now. But what they did was they showed these episodes, and there were guests from the episodes that were there on the day. So the event was split into 2 parts. So they showed 2 episodes with a Q&A. Then there was time for photos. And then they did 2 more episodes, another Q&A, and then there was autographs. So it was a full day event. Kind of starts at 12 and finishes around 6:30. And these events are very popular. They tend to sell out quite quickly now. What tends to happen, and I know this happened with the event for the showing of the Daleks Master Plan returned episodes, the website crashed. So people try and log in on Riverside Studios, try and book tickets, and it crashes. It can crash. So I managed to get tickets. So it was a really fun event. I had so much fun at the weekend. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was obviously all Pertwee episodes, and they're very. They had Joe Grant as the companion for that series, so for that season. So it was really enjoyable seeing those episodes. It just kind of was such a fun. It was a fun set of episodes. There was an episode with Roger Delgado in the Time Monster as well. So it was a lot of fun, a really nice event, really enjoyable. Sold out. I mean, there was a few seats that were empty, but they sell out quite quickly. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So I did that on Sunday, and a write up will come out as well. So I'm doing that at the moment.
Very nice. That sounds wicked. Sold out as well. A lot of these events are, you can tell, can't you, when you go to book them, the tickets, and then you're on the site for like 15 seconds and refresh, and we're sold out.
Yeah.
So that sounds really cool.
I think what it is now, obviously with probably very, very little new Who or new episodes of Doctor Who, I think people are kind of obviously looking back a lot now. So, when there's events and things like that, they tend to sell out quite quickly. I suppose it's an opportunity for us to all get together as fans and, celebrate, whatever that event is about. So, I think, I think also there's the publicity about these events seems to be hyped up now, because they tend to use social media a lot more effectively at the moment. So,
yes.
People are really aware of when things are happening. It was a bit like the BFI, advertising about the Doctor Who, the movie. Again, I was trying to book tickets for that. You're in a queue for 10 minutes, and then you've got 10 minutes to try and get in and get your tickets. And I was trying to book tickets for those, and twice the tickets jumped out of my basket.
Oh,
So,
no.
I got tickets in the end, but yeah, it's quite stressful trying to get tickets for events now. It's not as straightforward as it should be. And I think the technology lets you down a little bit as well. But yeah, it's just one of those things now. I think people are so much more aware of when things are happening, and sometimes there is this rush on tickets for things, especially if there's kind of, I suppose, major guest stars that people want to see.
Mm-hmm. Yes, agreed. So it's obvious, that classic Doctor Who is more popular than ever, which is evident with these BFI events and the Riverside stuff. And also, nice segue into, you mentioned that was run by the DWAS, Doctor Who Appreciation Society. It's less than a month till we're all going to the Capital event down in Gatwick, which is awesome. Also run by the old DWAS. So that'll be a good one. I was about to say, listener, if you can get down to Gatwick but sold out. Just before I was about to say, if you can get down to Gatwick for whatever weekend it is in May, then we'll meet up and have a chat. But alas, if you're listening to this and you've already got your ticket, then great, come find us. We're normally hanging out with all of the loser kids. We're normally in the corner just looking like, whatever. So come and find the losers club.
And Gary's gonna get us sweatshirts for this year, aren't you, Gary? I mean, I don't know how many years I've been asking. Is it 7 years now?
7 years.
I still haven't seen anything.
Yeah. What do you want me to put on the sweatshirt? Losers Club. With yellow, with multi-cut, with a yellow. One of us has got a yellow TARDIS, a red one, purple one, and a violet one.
I reckon you should have Alonzi on there. I mean, that's your catchphrase, isn't it, for the podcast?
Alonzi.
Alonzi.
All right, cool. All right, sweatshirts that say Alonzi. We really will be in the losers' seats. Okay.
We could just have it saying Maria, autographs, £20.
Oh well, listen. If we're going to go down the autograph route, I want to charge at least 50. Come on.
I wonder if one of us turned up with like a foldable decorator table or something and just put a black cloth over it and a bunch of random pics of us that we've had over the years with various actors. And a little sign that said, signed pics, £2. I wonder if we would sell even just one. If one person bought one. That'd be hilarious. Who is this person? Why have you set up a table? I know we'd get thrown out, of course, but I wonder if anyone would buy one. Out of all of us, it's got to be Maria, right? I reckon.
No, I reckon it will be you and Adam, Gary. I mean, if people are going to buy autographs, it'll be you and Adam.
No way. No, we're not cool enough. That's why I was going to put the Losers Club on there.
Oh.
In all seriousness, if you have got your ticket to the Capital event, 50 years, isn't it? 50 years of the DWAS or of the event. One of the two. Is it 50 years?
It's 50 years from, I think, when DWAS was created. So,
yes.
And they've been doing Capital, I think, for about 10. It's been about 10 years, I think, since they did the first one. I mean, they've had, because of COVID and things like that, I think they did skip a few years. They couldn't obviously run it, but because I think we were up to, is it the 7th or 8th event that they've done for Capital? I can't remember. Because I know they used to number them. I think I first started going and they were numbering them, but I think it must be 7 because they did. I'm sure they've done Capital 6. I'm not sure if they've done 7 or 8, but Anyway, I think it's been about 10 years since they first started doing the convention, the 2-day event. I think.
Nice. That'd be good, wouldn't it, gang? And Jordan's going to join us there as well.
Oh, listen, I'm looking forward to it. A chance to kind of get together with you guys for 2 days.
Oh,
it's going to be.
And our friend Joe's going to be there, isn't it? Yep. Oh, what's the word?
Bit.
What's the word for a team member that's honorary? Honorary Big Blue Box team member Joe. He'll be there as well.
Yeah,
so
Joe's going to be there as well.
hot off the
Indeedy.
heels from his new
bit
book
of news hot
launch
off
as
the
well.
press.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it? We know an author. We
It
know
is.
a proper book published author.
He's very good as well. I've started reading his first book. It's called The Diary of Andy Angus, listeners.
Andy Angus, yeah.
Yeah, it's not suitable for our younger listeners, but it's there's lots of Doctor Who references already in it. It's not a Doctor Who book. It's about a man's life, and yeah, it's really good. Buy it, but I'm reading it, and it's so good. He's very talented. So it'd be cool to see him again, for sure.
The Diary of
Andy Angus.
Andy Angus.
Yes,
That's it. Yeah, it does sound really good. I've got the first one. I've just not started reading it yet. I've not bought the second one, the newest one that he's just brought out. But I've got the first one. It's on the list. I've always got like 12, 13 books on the to read list, so I will get around to that shortly. But yes, our friend Joe's. I think it's sort of semi-autobiographical. Is that right? Autobiographical. Is that how you say it? I think so. Anyway, by all accounts, it's a great book. Actually, I'll stick a link in the show notes to it. And it does sound very cool. Lots of, as Harry said, lots of Doctor Who refs and whatnot. So, yeah. Looking forward to seeing you, Joe, as well. And everyone else. Like I said, I will get around to it now. But if you have got a ticket to the Capital event, then come and say hello. We won't be in the loser's corner. We'll just be, chatting to everyone. So come and grab a drink. And we'll chat all things Doctor Who. Harry, my good man, how have you been? What have you read? What have you watched? You must have dived into a book or two.
I just finished a book recently. I finished another one of the classic literature crossover things. It was Rebellion on Treasure Island.
Right.
With the 11th Doctor and Clara. And, oh my goodness, they're incredibly annoying. On print and on screen. I
thought
What did you think I was going to say?
you were going to say something completely different then. I thought you were going to say something like they're incredibly brilliant in this story or something.
Yeah, unfortunately not. No, they're no Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane, are they? But it had River Song in it. It had some other familiar bits from that era in it, which were more satisfactory, shall we say? There's some nice surprises in it. So if you haven't read it, give it a read, but just be prepared for a little bit of annoying 11th Doctor and Clara. That kind of thing. I much prefer 12 and Clara, to be honest. I think that relationship is a lot more mature. The 11th Doctor and Clara together are they're just annoying. So there was that. Gary, I've mainly just been preparing for the Capital convention, to be honest. I've ordered a bunch of prints to get signed by people. Off the top of my head, I've ordered this giant picture of a Roth warrior from the Star Beast, because one of the guys, one of the guys who dressed up as one of them is going to be there, and stuff like that. Postcards of the Sontarans, because all of the a few of like the modern actors who have played the Sontarans are going to be there, which is cool. So yeah, just little bits and bobs like that. It's going to be a really good weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. It's the first convention that I've done which is like a whole weekender, so it's sort of new territory for me. But it's going to be great. I'm sure. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah. Not much else really. I've been quite busy. I've moved house these past couple of months, as I mentioned on the last podcast. But that's all sorted now. So hopefully more time to get through more Doctor Who books, of which there are many, so many. But you can't have too many, I think.
You can never have too many. No, I agree. Harry's settled in now. He's in his own pad, leaving his crockery everywhere. Yeah.
Leaving my crockery. Yes.
I'll not wash that up now. I'll leave that until after I've recorded. Why not? It's my own place. Right, let's move on before Maria goes absolutely ballistic about that.
Yeah.
Right. Before we crack on, make sure you're following to the podcast on whatever podcast app you listen to your podcast on. It'd be great to have you following along while we're not putting out regular weekly content because there's nothing really to talk about with Doctor Who. These monthly roundtables are really cool. So we get to talk about whatever news has popped up and we just have a laugh and just chat about whatever we want to do with Doctor Who. So make sure you're following so you don't miss notifications for that stuff. And you can also check out all of the reviews, convention roundups, Maria's roving reporting rundowns of all the events that she gets up to, big finish reviews from this lot, all the things. You can read all that over on the website as well, which is bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk, and from there you can link off to the socials if you want to chat Doctor Who with us over there, or just do a search on X or Facebook or Threads or Blue Sky, all the things. Just do a search for the Big Blue Box podcast, you'll find us on there. And lastly, we have a very cool free Discord server. So if you want to chat on lots of different subjects to do with Doctor Who, then that's free. You can hop in there and chat with other Who fans and talk about merch, conventions, events, books, missing episodes, things that people don't like. That's a popular one. I don't like that episode. Why don't you like it, mate? Well, just don't. And then, talk about that. So, free Discord server. Go and check that out. Right, first news item, which obviously broke a little while ago now, but it's the first time we're all getting together to talk about it, would be the missing episodes from the Daleks Master Plan, which we all thought and feared were lost forever, which people were not happy about, because you have to deal with like reconstructions, audio only stuff, telesnaps, all the things, not great. So not every episode of the story's been found, but they did manage to grab a couple of episodes. It was number 1 and number 3, I believe. So The Nightmare Begins, which was episode 1. We already had episode 2, and then The Devil's Planet, which is episode 3. And it was kind of a big deal because, for one, it's been quite a while since we've had any missing episodes turn up. So it was a nice surprise to get that news. And second of all, it's an absolute banger of a story. It's a really, really good Terry Nation script and really good story, this one. And the performances, I don't know, there's something about the direction this one as well. I think it was, who directed it? Was it old Camfield? Was it Dougie Camfield? No. Who directed this one? I can't remember. But the direction's got some... It was Dougie, wasn't it? Yeah. The direction's got some really cool, quirky stuff going on, and there's some really nice little kind of slow zooms into the Doctor's face as he's getting perplexed about something, and there's a bit of depth of field going on, a little bit of movement. It's a really cool story. So it's a shame that we don't have the entire thing, but very, very cool that we got the missing ones. And this comes from the Film is Fabulous guys, who have done great work over the years and continue to do their research and all that stuff on these missing eps. So big round of applause to those guys, because we wouldn't have it if it wasn't for them. And they're already available now to watch on iPlayer. You can watch them. I think they've been released in the US now as well, for our US friends to watch them and so on. So very, very cool. Have you guys, I think you guys have seen them at least once through. Harry, what did you think of these new eps? Are you a fan?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, right out the gate, 100%. As you know, I adore the First Doctor's era. It's full of amazing stories, and yes, I've watched all the telesnap reconstructions of the missing episodes, and the Daleks Master Plan. It's a great story. For a 12-parter, it's amazing, like how it keeps that pace up, like throughout the entire thing. It doesn't feel like it drags at all. It's a brilliant story. So yeah, when we got this news, I was happy, just like the rest of us. And I watched the episodes, and a few people have said a similar thing. Of it felt very emotional actually watching it. I think particularly for me, because there's a bit of a narrative around. Towards the end of Hartnell's time on Doctor Who, of him kind of getting a bit tired towards the end. But I honestly don't find that one iota. I think he is like flamboyant and energetic like until the very, very end. And just seeing like more of his very physical and energetic and almost like childlike at times performance in these 2 new episodes was really, really cool. He's just got, he captures that wonder of the Doctor very, very nicely. So it was lovely to see just more scenes of Hartnell doing his thing, and as well seeing the first appearance of Nicholas Courtney in Doctor Who, and practically having all of Katarina's TV tenure now. It was a good couple of episodes for them to find and pick up. It's just I can only hope that in the future we get more of the Daleks Master Plan, or indeed just any other missing episodes, because the thrill, let me tell you, Gary, the thrill of watching 60s Doctor Who that like I had never seen before, and I knew hadn't been seen for many, many, many years. It was pretty something. It was a moment, for sure. So 2 really great episodes. Probably, apart from the Christmas special, the only new, quote-unquote, Who we're going to get in a while. So, it was a nice treat. It was lovely. Yeah.
Oh, you're a fan then. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Good. Matt, what did you think of the newly recovered episodes?
Sorry, had a momentarily glitch with my mic there, but I'm gonna very much be similar to what Harry said. I think it's just it was amazing to see more of Hartnell. Hartnell is, he is the original, you might say. So he is, he is Hartnell. He's amazing, and I never tire of watching the first Doctor's adventures, because there is something so compelling about his whole era. And so many of his stories are ahead of their time, and just really fun to watch. You think 1960s Doctor Who, you're going to think, is it going to be a bit of a bore fest and lots of issues with pacing and that sort of thing? But Hartnell's run is just brilliant. And any more of that came of it is going to be amazing. So when this got announced, it was kind of like, I don't know, it kind of united fandom with so little news to have of anything Who related at the minute. This was such a welcome addition, and it got everybody sort of talking about Doctor Who again. And I think it was even in the BBC News and headlines or something, and it was just, it's not very often you see Doctor Who on a notification on your phone from BBC News, and it's just, what a wonderful thing to happen to this community of fans, and it just goes to show that the episodes, the missing episodes, they've got to be out there after all this time, and you find these 2 episodes that you can't tell me that collectors and things haven't got them. So I don't know. I think the joy that everyone has had in watching these 2 brilliant episodes and rejoicing and coming together and doing something Doctor Who related in a time when there's just nothing going on, might make people reconsider sort of keeping them to themselves and maybe sharing more in the future. And they are out there. I think it's only a matter of time until we have some more. But it was great. I think I came in fresh because I haven't actually, because it was so missing. I kind of, and I'd gone through a lot of telesnaps with Troughton's era, and I did my rewatch a bit wibbly wobbly, and when I got to the Daleks Master Plan, I kind of thought, I can't really face going through more telesnaps, so I kind of skipped over it all, to be fair, because I didn't want to watch like 1 or 2 episodes in the middle and the end of the story, and then not really know. So coming into this completely fresh, so it sets up an amazing story, and just as Harry says, like, Hartnell is just full of life in it, and just so happy and cunning, and it's just the little nuances in his face that you just think, oh, and it's just it was just amazing and so magical to watch something so forgotten and hidden from the world for all these years, and then just to be able to watch it now in this day and age. Like you say, film is fabulous. They've done an amazing job, and I was just thrilled, like everybody else, really.
Nice. Yeah, you're right. It's you're right. They're out there somewhere. It's like the X-Files, isn't it? The truth is out there. The missing eps are in someone's garage somewhere. Not only that, there's probably somebody watching them as we speak in their garage right now, just lobbing popcorn in their face like these stupid Who fans. If only they knew, eh? They're watching every episode of the Daleks Master Plan from start to finish for like the 20th time. But yeah, they are out there. So, and also agree with you and Harry, actually, that Hartnell's run is just so good. It's so bleeping good. But yeah, Maria, what was it like? Did you watch these? I know you saw them at the Riverside event. Did you watch them at home as well, or did you were happy to see them at that event?
I didn't get to the Riverside event. I would have probably trod over a few people to go down there. I tried, but unfortunately, by the time I logged in, they'd already sold out, and I wasn't surprised, actually. I wish I could have gone, because it sounds like it was an amazing event. I mean, if you think about it, it's been 13 years since we had any missing episodes come back, and that's a huge amount of time for anything to be returned. I mean, if you know me at all, you'll know that I'm kind of quite obsessed by missing episodes. I have been since I found out in the 80s how many were missing, because obviously the list has got better and more stuff has come back, but I think it's what kind of is really interesting about our series, really, because there is stuff that's missing from it, whereas a lot of other franchises have got the full component of episodes. So, I think for fans, there's always that thing that there's things that we won't ever be able to see. So for me, seeing these episodes, I mean, if people ask me, what's on the top of my list of episodes I would want back, the Dalek Master Plan was in that, near the top of that list, very much so. And I think we've been very lucky that we've actually got the first part of the story now complete. It's a long story. I mean, it's 12 parts. And I would love to kind of see the end of it, because I know I'd love to see those end episodes come back, because I know originally it was meant to be a 6-parter, and then it got expanded to 12 parts. And, Terry Nation didn't write all of those episodes. I think was it Donald Tosh, I think, that wrote them. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, no, I was very excited that they came back, and it was actually Adam from the podcast that sent that screenshot that he'd kind of copied from. I think it was it Doctor Who News, to say that 2 episodes had come back, and it came through about midnight. It was quite late when it came through, so I was still awake. So immediately I kind of forwarded it to everybody that I knew and kind of said, look at this, is it real? It would be amazing if it was. And then checking the news, it was actually real. So I think it's been amazing that the 2 episodes have come back. I think it's united fans in a way that we've needed really to be united. There was a lot of excited people. It's kind of united everyone. It's also opened up, obviously, a new avenue for trying to find those missing episodes, because we found out about cutting copies as well. So, it's been fantastic, that they've come back and we're able to, have that at least a quarter of that story back now. And it's the beginning, which is actually really important, in terms of the story. So yeah, I love those episodes. I've watched them about 3 times, and it's been amazing, to watch them. I think, those 3 episodes, there's a lot of things that come together. So you've got some brilliant direction, from Douglas Camfield. I've always loved his, the way he uses the camera, because, there's, the first episode, when we didn't have the Web of Fear originally, we didn't have all those episodes. We only had episode 1. And there's the bit in that episode at the beginning where the Yeti attacks, in the museum. I think it's in the museum, but that is just such a beautiful sequence. So, I think we were very lucky with, Douglas Camfield. He uses really brilliant, the way he frames things, in the Dalek Master Plan is amazing. He does these shots where he kind of looks up. There's other shots where he kind of looks down, and he puts people in the frame. The way he does it is so interesting. And because we've only had the audio up to now, all the things that Harry mentioned and Matt mentioned about the way Hartnell behaves, you've got those close-ups of Hartnell, the way his face kind of reacts. You would never know that from just listening to the audio. So it's been fantastic. I've absolutely loved it. So there's the direction, there's really great characterization. We've got the first appearance of Nicholas Courtney in the show playing Brett Ryan, who's a brilliant character. I love the way he kind of says to the Doctor and at one point to shut up. He's very to the point, isn't he? And I love the bit in the TARDIS in episode 1 where he's kind of held by the magnetic chair. I mean, who knew what the magnetic chair looked like? It's amazing. And then you've got that shot where you've got Katerina goes to get the tablets from him for Stephen, and she kind of kneels down. Douglas Camfield captures all of that. So it's a mixture of the story, the characterization, the direction. It all comes together in those first 3 episodes. And I really want to see episode 4. That was how I felt when I kind of watched them. I just loved it. There was so much in it to enjoy, and it's a real adventure story, if that kind of makes sense. And, Kevin Stoney, you can see he's a bad 'un from that first time when he's on TV, and he's a bit smarmy with the interviewer. But you don't get any of that with audio. You don't get enough of that. You don't really see it. So it really comes together. I love them. I could talk about them for ages. But yeah, It was brilliant. It was brilliant seeing them. I'm so happy that they're back. I just hope there's more coming out soon. There's something about those black and white episodes, that are just so amazing to watch. There's something about the way they're lit, the way and actually the pace of the Dalek Master Plan is really good. It kind of zips along. I mean, the only thing I would say is I've never found the Daleks that interesting as characters. So they're kind of like, it's the humans in the story that really appeal to me because they're brilliant. The Daleks are kind of, yes, they're evil and, they're in the scenes, but they don't interest me as much as the humans in the story so far anyway. What else could I say about this? I think if there was one quibble I had in the story, there was one bit where the Doctor's looking at the city and then the next minute he's by the Dalek room. And I thought to myself, how did he get there so quickly? That was the only thing I kind of thought of. But I thought the way it's laid out is really good. I mean, in episode 3, when they're on Desperus, and you've got that bit where the prisoners are coming in the distance, and all you can see is the light as they're coming towards the ship, you know, and Hartnell's glee at, you know, electrocuting them and stopping them from getting on the ship, you know, and there's bits like when Katerina kind of looks out and she's looking at the stars. I mean, you know, it's just amazing to see all of that, because you would never know, as I say, from the audio. So I, you know, I'm very much a visual person as well. So I loved watching them. I really did. I've watched them about 3 times. I'll probably watch them again at some stage. You know, I'm praying that they'll bring more episodes back. At least if we can get at least episode 4, and then hopefully the last 2 episodes, because I think we've got 5 and 9. So it would be really good to see the conclusion, because I know Sarah Kingdom obviously, you know, dies. So it would be really good to see we've got the beginning, let's see the end.
We need the Feast of Stephen.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not too worried about the Feast of Stephen, really.
Oh,
Is
we
that the
must
one where,
have the Feast of Stephen.
The fourth wall.
is
We
that the
breaks the
one where
fourth
they're
wall.
in when they're in the movie?
Yeah, they're on the film set. The whole plot just stops, and they're just on a film set because it's Christmas.
It's just so weird. I can't make that one out. I've listened to the audio about 3 times, and I just can't make any of it out. I don't know what they're doing. They all sound like they're having a whale of a time, though. But yeah, I'm not too worried. I don't think we'll ever get it back, because apparently it wasn't. I don't think it was sold anywhere, but I don't know. Maybe somebody's got it. But yeah, no, I was very excited, and I thought it was just what we needed as fans, really, in terms of the return of those episodes, because I know they've been promised and we've been waiting patiently. And I think there will be more to come back, hopefully in the next year or 2. That seems to be the indication that there's more out there. And I mean, what's actually interesting is the collector that obviously had those episodes. You know, unfortunately he passed away, but he did have 4 other episodes that were also in the archives already. So, you know, there's hope there that, you know, there are collectors there that will eventually, you know, give us those episodes back. I mean, hopefully we don't have to wait for all of them to die, you know, being honest about it, to get them. You know, hopefully I'll live long enough to see a few more come back. But yeah, it would be nice to see a few more episodes come back. I mean, I'd really love to see that episode count go down. I mean, it was at 97 for so long, and you know, hopefully now we're in a period where, you know, we'll get more back. I mean, it was brilliant to get some Hartnell back, to be honest, because, you know, we've had a lot of Troughton returns, which have been fantastic. You know, but I think there's a lot missing still from Hartnell as well. You know, that I'd love to see back. So yeah, brilliant. It was brilliant.
Do you know what, Maria?
Nice.
It's just so lovely to hear you talk about that. I was thinking that all the way through. Just like you said, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a massive missing episodes fan. And the whole time you were talking about that, you could just see, like, through your voice, and obviously we have the perspective of through the camera as well, just how your face just lit up. And you just genuinely just love it so much. And it's just, yeah, it was a joy to listen to that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I've been a classic Who fan, you know, first and foremost. You know, it's always been my first love. And, yeah, no, it was just so exciting. I mean, I was so excited just reading about episodes coming back. It's like a miracle, you know, when they come back. So, yeah, it's put a smile on my face for sure.
It's confirmation that Maria is not a fake fan. She is indeed a real Doctor Who fan. And it was Dennis Spooner that wrote about half the eps along
Dennis
with Terry
Spooner. Yeah. I think
it's a great story, man. It's a really cool. Yeah.
It's a good story. I mean, the thing is, when Dennis Spooner takes over, he puts more humour in it. So it kind of, because you've got the meddling monk, you've got episodes with, you've got a couple of episodes, I think, with the meddling monk. I think we've only got one episode with him actually there, but
I completely forgot
yeah,
he
it's
turns
kind of
up later on.
interesting.
That slipped my mind totally. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he puts all that
Meddling
humour in, kind of lulls you into false sense of security before, there's all the drama at the end, and all the tragedy, really. But no, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And we do need all of them because we need that, we need the whole, incidentally, Happy Christmas to all of you at home.
The Feast of Stephen.
Moment.
And we need it for the collections. The collection box sets. Come on, we need them.
Yeah. That'll happen, won't it? They'll put out those collection Blu-ray sets, and then as soon as they finished them, there'll be a load of missing ones turn up.
For sure. I just don't mind. I just honestly don't mind if they wait sort of 10, 20 years, whatever, to get those last remaining ones, because you can't put a box set like that out with telesnaps, can you? Like you can't, and then ask like nearly 60 quid for it. You just can't do it.
When you put it like that, yeah, that's a tall order. £60 for a slideshow.
I don't know if they've said that they're going to put these episodes out for commercial release. They haven't said anything, have they? I'm assuming they might go out as a Lost in Time Part 2, maybe, where they put any, so especially if you've got orphan episodes that come back, I suppose they'll have to put them on a second set, but on their own. I suppose this is the thing, do you want episodes back where you can complete stories, or do you not mind what you get? And if they're orphan episodes, they'll still go out on commercial, for sale commercially, I suppose. I don't know, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I think we talked about this before.
I reckon what they might do is they might do a big animation of the Daleks Master Plan and then just put all the surviving episodes on there. I suppose that would make sense to do, because more than half of it's still missing. So it would make sense if they did an animation of that. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that wouldn't be terrible. I wouldn't hate that. Yes. Alrighty. We're big fans, of course, of the missing eps of the Dalek Master Plan. Moving on. I'm going to come to Matt last on this one because I know I need to contain him just for a moment. So just before, actually, the missing episodes were announced, I think it was just before, like 2 weeks or something, we had an announcement about Paul McGann's TV movie. All of the film reels, all 219 rolls of film were found and shipped over to the BBC archive, where they've been remastered and redone, which was just a massive surprise, because typically if you're listening to this and you're fairly new to the world of Doctor Who and announcements and fandom and all that stuff, typically what happens is you get all these rumblings that happen for a few days before an official thing happens, for normally about 4 or 5 days. On the socials, you'll get because we had it just with these missing episodes from the Daleks Master Plan, we had tweets saying, they found some missing eps, announcements coming in a few days, it's going to be cool. And then a day later, it's like, it's a Daleks Master Plan, they found some, it's going to be cool. And then a few days later, you get the official announcement from the Beeb and all that stuff. This one, boom, just shadow dropped this announcement out of nowhere. And this is such good news. And I mentioned this to the guys before we started recording, that it was one of those lovely, rare occasions where, even if you're not a huge fan of the TV movie, it was one of those great times where fandom just stopped, just for a day. I think it felt like it was just 24 hours or 48 hours where they just stopped and they were like, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing that we're going to get a remaster because this has already been released a couple of times on DVD and we've had it on Blu-ray already, and a bit like Spearhead from Space, they've gone through the multiple versions, because the TV movie was filmed on film stock, like Spearhead from Space. So it has the potential for a really, really good remaster, but it's just never... The TV movie never really resonates, I don't think, within enough fandom, or with enough a number of fans to warrant putting the money into doing the remaster. Simple as that. If you ask 500,000 Doctor Who fans to give you their top 5 stories, I think the TV movie is going to feature in very few of those as a top 5. And so it just drops. It was like and then the trailer just looks awesome. And it's got, without even putting this disc into my 4K player at home, I can already tell, even with the YouTube compression and stuff, that they've done such a great job remastering this. And the guy that's done it is a guy called Paul Venices, and he's the guy that's done the remasters on the recent Blake 7 Blu-ray releases. So he's done those justice. They look really good. He hasn't overdone it. They don't look fake. They don't look like somebody's just applied a bucket load of AI to it and tried to do all that. This guy absolutely knows what he's doing. And on top of that, so we're getting the remaster that's going to be in standard HD, which is the Blu-ray. Then we're getting the proper true 4K. They're doing a 4K disc and another version of a nice steelbook and so on. And then we've got some new special features on this as well. I think we've got most of them that have appeared on the previous releases, but a couple of things that are very stand out on this one, which is really cool. We've got 3 versions of the film, essentially. We've got the standard theatrical one for us here in the UK. We've got the USA broadcast version, which is a slightly different edit, which went out in the US, obviously, at the time. And then we've got the uncensored UK version, which went out at the time here in the UK. And it's they're all slightly different edits. It's nothing kind of groundbreaking in terms of, like, there's no massive, huge missing scenes or anything like that. But there are a couple of little cuts here and there. There's a few bits of dialogue that are different, and there's some bits and bobs that are a bit different from each release. So that's really cool. There's a new In Conversation interview with Jeffrey Sachs. There's a new special feature with Svesa McCoy and Janet Fielding. Another 3 brand new interviews and featurettes with Daphne Ashbrook, Eric Roberts, Yi-Ji So, catching up with those guys, looking back on their time on the thing. Little plug. A few years back, Adam and I interviewed Daphne Ashbrook on the podcast. It was very, very cool. I'll stick a link to that. She's got some great insight into her time on the show, and there'll be some more stuff on here. And just lastly from me, one of the things that's just a cherry on the top of the cake is, because we're getting the proper remaster direct from the reels, they can actually do it at the proper frame rate for PAL UK releases. So instead of having this very, very slightly sped up version, because we've just got the US NTSC version that doesn't translate onto our sets, we've always had this thing that the runtime's a little bit weird and the pitch is just slightly out and it just looks weird. So now we've got that bang on. Oh man, right. Actually, I'm going to go to Matt first, because Matt, out of all of us, I think he's the biggest TV movie guy and fan. So mate, what was your reaction when you first saw this one?
Oh, Gary, I think you just summed up just everything I felt as well. But yeah, this is how emotional and fantastic as Maria found the missing episodes. Like, this just came out of the blue, and it just, like you say, just spontaneous drop. And I checked my phone, and I thought, because I got the YouTube trailer announcement first, and I thought, because I'm a massive movie fan, and I thought, I'm always watching stuff like that. So I'm wondering if it's a fan-made trailer, like a really cool edit that someone's done. So I go onto it thinking, oh, this would be cool. And then I realise it's the official channel. Wait, hang on. And then my mind just exploded. And you just see this trailer, and the narration from Sylvester McCoy, it was just beautiful. But also you see the side by side, the original, and then switching to 4K, and you see how beautifully it's done. And oh man, I felt like a kid at Christmas. And like you say, to have the original, the proper way that it was intended to be viewed, no sped up, that the original POW release. I just can't wait to actually watch it all the way it was intended, but looking glorious the best way it can. And the movie is what it is. It's its own beast, and I love it for that. Not everybody agrees and that sort of thing, but this whole announcement, the amount of love for this one movie, that the Eighth Doctor is just one incarnation, one episode, basically one feature-length episode, and the amount of love that just poured out of sort of every corner of the universe, and it was lovely to see. It was really magical. And I wonder if they predicted how quickly this would sell out. The Steelbook just because as soon as I realised it was official, I sort of paused, went on to Amazon, and it's just the pre-order, because I know that this is something special and you've got to get that in. And boy, was I right, because I think it was less than an hour or two maybe, and it was sold out on all of the UK retail sites. It's come in and out of stock sporadically, but I mean the demand for this is just unprecedented. It just shows the amount of love there is for the Eighth Doctor and Paul McGann, and it's so nice and refreshing to see that for once there was just fandom in complete unity, that this was really good. There wasn't any, I couldn't really see any sort of toxic behaviour that it just goes on throughout different things that get released in the new series and everything like that. This was just pure wholesomeness, and it was so nice. I don't know, I felt like that you got your wish from Santa when you write a list at Christmas. It was just so glorious. I just can't wait. I absolutely can't wait, and I'm just gonna watch it until I need to get a new disc.
Look at Matt, he's beaming. Listener, you can't see his face, but he's absolutely honestly beaming. Yeah, no, it was good, and it was that beautiful moment, as you said, where fandom just all came together. Even if you didn't, like I said, even if you're not a big fan of the TV movie, just this release just seemed to get everybody going, and everybody's more so just appreciation for Paul McGann. Like, he's so, like, on Big Finish, he's done so many great stories, and he's flourished so much as his version of the Doctor over there. But on screen, other than the little webisode we got for the 50th, this is kind of like your lot. This is, your one shot for McGann. So it was great to see.
It's a crime. It's an absolute crime. Yeah. Because if they had made some of the Big Finish stuff into episodes and given him a television series, man, that would be fire. That it would just. This is what you need, especially in times of struggle at the minute that Doctor Who seems to be having. Bring in Paul McGann. Bring him in a new companion. Just he is my favourite Doctor for a reason, because he is absolutely incredible. You listen to him on the audios. If you listeners, if you haven't delved into some of Paul McGann's Eighth Doctor Big Finish, the early releases are so cheap now that, and a lot of them are free on Spotify and things like that. Go and check them out. You will not be disappointed. I found them because of Garry and Adam's recommendations, and it started this whole thing. I've listened to them all. I've read the novels, and it's just he is, in my opinion, the best Doctor, and it's easy to see that with all of this. You need to check them out, because they are brilliant.
Yeah, and it did kick off everyone picking up stuff. I did the same thing. I bought this book. You can't see it on camera, listener, but I've wanted this book for ages, and I saw it at the last event we were at, and I stupidly didn't pick it up. So as soon as the TV movie release dropped, ordered this, picked it up on eBay, and I've got something else, another Eighth Doctor book coming as well. So it really has sort of ignited fandom's sort of love for stuff. And annoyingly, as time is in this wibbly wobbly stuff, our Blu-ray or 4K sets are going to land after we've gone to the Capitol event. So we can't get, because Paul McGann's obviously going to be there, we can't get him to sign because they won't be out. We're going to miss him by like a week and a half to get our set signed. But alas. Maria, what did you think to the announcement? I know this is your favourite bit of Whoever. So were you fired up by this?
Well, for me, I don't have a 4K player, so I guess if I'm going to buy it, it will obviously be the Blu-ray. I mean, I think Matt's right. The movie itself is a beast of its own. You know, it feels like it's kind of tailored for the American market a little bit, but there's also obviously there's Britishness in there. So I don't mind the movie. I think I've learned to love it a little bit more than I did when I originally saw it. You know, I think if anyone that watched it in 1996, you know, probably wasn't sure what to expect, but it's grown on me. I think Paul McGann is definitely the best thing in it. You know, I laughed a little bit when you said there were some uncensored bits that are released, and I thought, what could there possibly be that they've censored? But I'm assuming it's maybe some of the fight scene, possibly, or, you know, some of the violence, in terms of the gang violence in there, because I can't think there's anything else going on between Daphne and the Doctor that would need to be censored. But, yeah, let's draw a veil over that one. But yeah, I think it's exciting. I mean, I've got tickets for the BFI event, so I'm really looking forward to that and seeing it on the big screen. So yeah, it's very exciting. You know, I met Paul McGann a few years ago. He seemed absolutely charming. You know, he's got eyes to die for. So, you know, what can you say? You know, and he's such a good ambassador for the show, I think. You know, I think a lot of the classic Doctors, obviously, that are still around, you know, they're such good ambassadors for the show. You know, I think some of and our revived series Doctors could learn something from that, in terms of the way they, you know, come across with the fans. But no, he's fantastic. I think he's fantastic, and it's great news. And and what's exciting for me is you and Matt and Garry, you've both got that enthusiasm for the movie, which is fantastic, you know, so that's great. I can't see Harry, so I don't know if Harry's jumping up and down with excitement as well, but I'm assuming he might be. Well,
let's go to Harry and find out. Over to Harry in the studio.
Segue. Oh, wow. That was excellent. Nicely done. So a few months prior to this announcement, I thought, you know what? It's about time that I owned the TV movie on Blu-ray, because, you know, they released it on Blu-ray like 10 years ago. And back then it was the best it ever looked. So I thought, yeah, I'll buy it. I took it around to my mate's house. I said, hey, look, got the TV movie, the best it's ever looked. And he said, that's great, but I don't have a Blu-ray player. I sold my Xbox. And I was like, damn it, didn't even get to watch it. And then I got this announcement, and then that was just like the nail in the coffin. It was like, oh, for goodness sake, should have just waited for a bit. But am I going to double dip? Of course I am. Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Especially because when it was like selling out and coming back in stock, I was like, I've got to bloomin' just order that bloomin' steelbook. I don't have a 4K TV, but you know, it comes with the Blu-ray disc, so you can watch it on that, and it's still gonna look pretty good, I think. Well, judging by the way it looks on YouTube, it looks fantastic, and yeah, just echoing everyone else's sentiments. Really, it's lovely to see so much positivity around it, and Paul McGann's just wonderful. I've met Paul McGann a few times at conventions, and he's just great. He's a real laugh. The TV movie is there are parts of it that are kind of crap, but like I just think it's so charming. It's such a charming oddity in the history of Doctor Who, and everyone in it is fabulous. I love Daphne, love Eric, love E.G. They're all just brilliant in it, and McCoy gets his send off as well. And yeah, it's a fabulous story. I've been wanting to write an article about it, but I feel like that's best left to Mr. Eighth Doctor aficionado here, Matt, because the Eighth Doctor's kind of your thing. But yeah, it was a great piece of news, and I'm so excited to watch it. Well, first at the BFI, because I'll also be there, and then from the comfort of my own home, probably once a week, until they remaster it again, and then I'll buy it again on 8K, or however many K we're on by then.
True. However many, yeah. 16K, anyone? The TV movie. Cool. So we're all fans of that as well. Even Maria. Nice. Very nice. I got an email from Amazon this morning. I think they changed the dates by a day or two. It's now the 26th according to Amazon. So that should be fairly consistent, I think, with other retailers. But yeah, Tuesday the 26th of May. We're in business. Get to explore that.
Don't
really
try and
nice.
get hold of me on the 26th of May.
Yeah.
Do.
Oh, Matt, you read my mind. I was just about
silent.
to say. Yeah. Out of office on the day before. Oh, yeah. Throats. Yeah. Oh, my throat's just, I don't know, boss. Just throat's really killing me. Losing my voice big time. I feel pretty shit. and
in the background, you just hear time.
That's gonna be me.
The TV movie is out soon, and we loved the announcement and that drop and so on. And we hope you have picked it up too. I'm not sure if it's in stock now or not, if it's come back in or not, but if you manage to get one, then
I've just done a quick run round, Gary, and it's sold out pretty much everywhere. Amazon even don't have a web page for the Steelbook. That's how sold out it is. But I think you can still get it on the standard 4K and Blu-ray. There's that. People are already selling it on eBay as well, it seems, even though it's not come out.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange.
Okay.
Buggers. But it's worth mentioning that it does come back into stock for very, very short periods of time. Keep an eye on the Doctor Who merchandise site because people comment on the listing to say that they've just managed to grab a copy. It does come in very, very small quantities. Maybe if somebody's cancelled a pre-order or something like that. But it's always worth if you're desperate for one and haven't managed to get one so far.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Or fire up Claude, Co-work, Claude Desktop, ChatGPT, ChatGibbity, and just say, run a routine every morning, check stock of the Doctor Who TV movie for me. Report back. You little minion, do as you're told. Yeah? You're a computer. Do as you're told. ChatGPT. Right, let's finish up very quickly with the last, I guess you can call it news. I don't know. This 20th anniversary of when David Tennant took over as the Doctor back. So we had a little debate earlier. I think officially it's supposed to be New Earth. I think so. I think that's like the 20 years is from then. But on some websites it's also said from the Christmas invasion, which is kind of weird because on the Radio Times website, as an example, it says that the 20-year anniversary was from the episode New Earth, etc. but the thumbnail image they've used is David Tennant in his dressing gown and pajamas from the Christmas Invasion. So obviously massive Doctor Who fans at the Radio Times, as always. So I think we'll do it from New Earth. Actually, yeah, they also went further down in the article. They also say that, they're talking about Christopher Eccleston and the transition into David Tennant and how good he looked in that first series, because you get to see like the proper, his long brown coat with the Converse trainers and stuff. And then they use an image of him from Star Beast in like the white shirt with the blue waistcoat, and yeah, it's all funny over at the Radio Times with all the proper fans there. So 20 years, guys, and it was really cool to see on the socials a lot of people. Our own Jordan actually, I think he put something on Instagram or Twitter that said, "Wow, I guess this means I've been a Doctor Who fan for over 20 years. And I think when you phrase it like that, for a lot of people, that's like a moment. It's like, wow, it really has been that long that you've been watching Doctor Who. I mean, Maria's been watching Doctor Who for we're talking more than 20 years. I want to get into it. I don't want to say how far back Maria's been watching Doctor Who, but it's been a while.
Easy, Gary, easy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get into it. I want a black eye at the Capital event. I don't be walking around with Shiner. But it was cool to see a lot of fans saying that they just couldn't believe that for them it's like yesterday they started watching Doctor Who. It felt like the first time they saw David Tennant and Billie Piper together with all the cat people. And then it's like, hold on a minute, whoa, it's been 20 years. So, Harry, does this feel like 20 years to you? Does it like a snap of the fingers, or has it been like, yeah, oh, it feels like 20 years?
Well, in some ways it has, and in some ways it hasn't. I mean, I sort of came into Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston with that first series back. And that is really as far back as I can remember, which shows you kind of how old I am. So when I was a kid, time felt really slow. But then as I got older, it got quicker, as it tends to happen. But that was a weird realisation that it's been over 20 years now that I've been watching Doctor Who. And we've had many highs and many lows, that's for sure. I think it's fabulous that New Earth was getting some love, because it's not the best story, but like it was. I know the Christmas Invasion is kind of the first episode of the 10th Doctor's whole era, but New Earth was when we got rocking and rolling. We had adventures every week, and I remember that period so vividly, and just being so swept up in it. Every single week I was there, and I thought about it all week long, and whenever there was a 2-part episode, I'd be thinking, how are they going to get out of this one? Like, it was a fabulous time. I definitely remember bits of Eccleston, but that first series of Tennant, like, I remember that so vividly. So yeah, when it got all the fanfare on social media this week, that was really nice to see, because for me it felt like a moment, and I think for a lot of people it felt like a moment. I'm using that phrase a lot tonight. It felt like a moment, but being a Doctor Who fan is full of moments. It was cool. It was cool to see it getting some loving. It didn't result in an announcement. Many people thought that we'd get an announcement about Christmas, with a certain David Tennant coming back yet again, but we didn't get an announcement like that. So who knows what's happening with that Christmas special? But don't care about that. I like reminiscing on that sort of really golden period of Doctor Who, and yeah. 20 years. Nice one.
20 years, indeed.
I really hope that
to reflect on.
I really hope that we have the same level of fanfare next year when it's 20 years since Series 3. I feel like we should have some fanfare for that series for Martha Jones, because Martha Jones definitely deserves that level of fanfare along with Rose Tyler. They're about equal playing field for me,
Yes.
I think. I know a lot of people don't think that, but that's where I'm coming from.
Martha Jones. Yeah, the Jadoon. And the hospital. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird hearing Who fans reminisce about that stuff, because I think out of all four of us, I came into the show later than all of you. I believe I came into it sort of partway into Matt Smith's run. Is when I started my journey into Who, and then quickly went back and picked up all the box sets from Eccleston. And so I do remember going back, and I remember having a week off work or having a few days off work and binge watching all of Doctor, like sticking the disc 1 in of series 2 for this. They're kicking off with New Earth and going through all that. That was, oh man, what a time that was for Doctor Who. I don't want to cry. Matt, did you appreciate this announcement, or were you like, yeah, whatever?
Well, yeah, no, I was kind of in two minds, because it felt like it was leading to something bigger than it was, for sure. You know, they all changed all of the socials to back to how they were, or how, you know, all the titles and the logos and how they looked, and thinking, you know, what's this in aid of? Is it something bigger? Is it, like you say, a certain person that has featured more in Doctor Who than anybody else in the last 20 years is coming back? But you know, it wasn't to be. But also, on the flip side, it was lovely to reminisce, and yeah, absolutely. Well, it was lovely, but also it does make you feel a bit old when you realise that. I think me and Harry are very are similar in age, and we both actually started watching Who from the same episode, I believe. Am I right in saying it was The Empty Child for you as well?
Oh, for me it was Rose. I think it was the very first one.
Was it?
Yeah, well, the first one I
okay.
remember.
All right.
The first one I remember was Aliens of London. So it might have been that one.
Okay.
But yeah, similar.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Very similar sort of age to get into Who, but yeah, I mean, that would be 21 years. So yeah, when New Earth came out, it because watching Eccleston to start with, I remember Empty Child, but I don't remember I kind of remember the final for the Regen and the Daleks and that sort of thing. But Series 2 was kind of the time where I remember just so well of just getting on, or you know, just sitting down on the carpet in front of the big box TV, getting the right channel and that sort of thing, and hogging the remote so nobody messed with it while it was on. I grew up with a lot of brothers, and you know, I was the big Doctor Who fan, so it was my 45 minutes. Don't mess with the telly. But it was just vivid, and you know, you'd spend all day out playing with your mates, and then you'd have to rush in because Doctor Who started at 6:10 or 6:15, and you had that sort of, you had that on your watch. You were watching the time, thinking, oh yeah, it's nearly time, and you run back in. So it was you had to be there. You had to watch it on time, and it was an event in itself. And Doctor Who was everywhere at that time. It was, you know, toy stores, Argos catalogue when you're searching for your Christmas presents, and it was just everywhere. And so it was fun to reminisce. But yeah, I was left feeling like we haven't had this really for Series 1. Not that I can recall, not in the same way where it was all sort of, all the socials had changed and everything like that, and a big thing was made out of it. So I'd love if they just sort of dropped the ball last year and sort of remembered this year. I'd love for it to continue, like Harry says. You know, there is a big sort of lack of appreciation for Martha Jones in Series 3. So yeah, I'd love to see it happen year on year. Whether it does or not, and maybe for some of the other Doctors other than Tennant. I know he's the one that everybody loves, and the majority of people sort of think when they think of Doctor Who, the more casual viewers. So they're trying to pull people in with more Tennant, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice to reminisce. Made me feel quite old, and at the end, I thought could have done with some sort of an announcement if there was going to be one, but alas, it was not to be.
Alas. Nice one, Matt. It's really cool listening to you guys talk about your first memories of that stuff and going back. Very cool. Let's finish up with Maria then on this one. Maria, I know classic Who is where your heart lies, but did you find this cool, thinking back to 20 years since Mr. Tennant?
Well, I've been only sort of vaguely aware of all the stuff around 20 years. I've seen some of it, but it's kind of not really embedded itself in my brain. But I think what's interesting to think about looking back is how fresh and new Doctor Who was, obviously with the revived series at this point. We had a new Doctor, very energetic. I seem to remember at the time actually enjoying his energy, enjoying that energy that he had and the dynamic with Rose. Looking back at the episodes of that series, in a series when we used to get 13 episodes a year, there's very few, I think, that are stinkers really in series 2. Possibly maybe Fear Her is probably the only one that I don't really like, but I think the rest of them, are pretty good, to be fair. I mean, there's some great two-parters in that second series. You've got Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, which I think I've watched quite a few times, and also Impossible Planet, Fate and Pit. And I remember Doomsday was the way that it kind of ended with the separation of Rose and the 10th Doctor. I think I must have taped that. Maybe, I don't know, I must have had videotapes at that point and maybe taped it, because I seem to remember watching that last 5 minutes so many times, over and over. So I think at that stage, because it was so new and fresh, I actually enjoyed a lot of it, and I enjoyed David Tennant in the role. So I think, there is a bit of nostalgia there for me in terms of, enjoying that series, enjoying what they were doing with the stories. So I think it's good to look back. I seem to remember that I didn't speak to very many other people about the series, but I knew that I'd actually enjoyed it. So, and I'm assuming this publicity that they're kind of harping on the 20 years is to do with obviously the Christmas special and, the rumours that Billy's back, David Tennant is back. So I suppose it makes sense to kind of hark back to a happier time for Doctor Who fans, because of all the upheaval that there's been in the last couple of years, and the way the series is received. So, there's some really good stories in series 2. I don't go back now and watch them as much as I did, but I have watched them quite a lot in the past. So, it's good stuff.
Oh, so you enjoyed a little trip down memory lane as well, though. Nice. Right. That was a lovely thing to end on. I honestly thought it was a bit of a no news thing, to be honest with you, but it seems like quite a few people. I think, as Matt said, Mr. Tennant is the Doctor that everybody loves. Everybody. I think it was peak Doctor Who, I guess, at the height of Tennant's run, probably series 3 and 4, I would say. It's probably where all the viewing figures were the highest and appreciation scores were the highest. And we had some absolutely amazing stories around that time. So, Yes. Happy birthday. Happy 20th. Mr. Tennant's first run and Series 2 of modern Doctor Who. And I think on that lovely note, we will end their team for the April Roundtable. Thank you, fans, for coming back and listening to another round table. That was April. I'm going to put the year in there, 2026, for upcoming nostalgia purposes. That was the April Roundtable. Thank you very much for joining us and listening to our waffle about all the latest Doctor Who news. We had the missing eps from the Daleks Master Plan. We had the TV movie remaster announcement. That's going to drop soon in flashy, great-looking 4K. With all the cool features, and the 20th anniversary of David Tennant's run. If you've enjoyed this episode, especially if you're a newcomer to the podcast, and welcome aboard, make sure you're following or subscribing in your preferred podcast app of choice, so you get all the announcements when new episodes drop on the monthly roundtables, or when we do the weekly stuff if there's new reviews to do. Also, check out these guys' articles and reviews and all that stuff over on the blog. It's over at bigblueboxpodcast.co.uk, and you can also check us out on the socials, Instagram, X, Facebook, all the things. Just do a search of Big Blue Box Podcast or check the links on the website. Matt, it's been great, dude. Thank you very much for joining us always, dude.
Thank you as always for having me. It's always great to talk to you, lovely lot.
Maria, thank you very much. It's been great to hear your wisdom and your insights and your enthusiasm for all the classic Who stuff as usual.
Oh, thanks, Gary. It's been great to get together again.
It has. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. And Harry, thank you very much, dude, for your insights into your memories and everything from your earlier days of watching Doctor Who and all that stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. And yes, cannot wait for us to get together at the Capitol. But before then, I've got some dishes to wash. So, we'll wait a little while longer.
Yeah. He's going to read a book, by the way. Who fans?
Yeah, I'm going to procrastinate on those dishes, yeah.
And that will do it for the April Roundtable. So until next time, take care of yourselves and remember...